So, we began last week with, or not last week,
Couple
but
weeks ago.
last section
2
with.
weeks ago.
Okay, thank you.
Not last weekend, but the weekend before that.
I was gonna leave it with last session, but
Last session could work.
yeah. Father Kenneth told us about James trading with people from the sanctuary down south, moved to the Snyder farm. Apparently there was some marital discord between Caitlin and Jeff because he started smoking again. Breakfast, we meet cancer patient Alice, Harry, the town's Otis Campbell, who thinks the zombie apocalypse is because of Scott Kelly and Moon Rocks.
We don't know that it isn't.
Whether it is or not, that's what he thinks. Ben Cooper,
That's me!
a grad student who believes that something he read on the blogosphere, that it was Toxoplasma gondii, which I do believe he mispronounced. I'm not surprised if he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And that it was a synthetic bioweapon that Middle Eastern terrorists got a hold of, and they only just created the antidote, which I'm quite sure Rose believes is all bull hockey.
It was in the blogosphere. It's not bull hockey. Look here, lady. It's not bull hockey.
Yeah, because, you know, Toxoplasmosis gondii then leads to toxoplasmosis, which actually is the only reason why that pregnant women can't change out kitty litter.
Hey, hocus pocus. That's all I have to say, lady. It was on the internet. It was there in the blogosphere.
Yeah, because the internet's always right.
Hey,
Get
it
a
is.
bit off topic here.
Hey, Wikipedia helped me graduate college.
It's right when it's on my side.
Yeah, but when you're dealing with diseases cats have, who are you gonna believe? Some kid that is not even dealing with that kind of stuff, or the woman who is a vet for 30 years? Anywho, we also met Jenny,
She's a stiff one, isn't she?
the mother of Brian, 2, Kathy, 7, and RC, 15. Her husband disappeared 4 months ago. Later found out zombie. And we met Michael, a 50-something retired from Durham's sheriff's office. We then go hunting with small horde, bag of buck, while Jack stayed back and rigged up a nifty chicken coop. Stupid radio broadcast that meant absolutely nothing to us. Jeep Raiders, we overpowered. Told there's a military base about 10-15 miles south. Caitlin says we've met them before and almost did things to her and her girls. Later that night, Brian is attacked at home by his daddy in the basement, which we don't know how he got into their basement, but the basement door was open. The zombie was then put on a cross and basically given a last rites type of sermon before being burned by his 15-year-old son. Then both he and Brian were then to be buried, and Father Kenneth gave the mother some prescription pills to go to bed, and that's where we left.
Yeah, he sure did. He gave, Father Kenneth. He pulled out his little, like a little pill box, and he, it had all Dee Dee's mouth watering when he saw that.
Right.
Yeah. So he gives Jenny she's a mess at this point. Her little boy's dead, and RC's, claiming it's his fault and everything. So he gives her some something to help her sleep. And you guys had still been with James. James was going to go on a earlier. He and Michael and them had left. Well, James is on his way back because of the accident there. Father Kenneth was kind of running the show while James is gone.
Yeah, they all went off to take care of the horde or whatever, didn't they? To scare away the horde or whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, see if there was any more.
Yeah, they were gonna scout out, see if there was any other packs that were going to be heading towards Hirschbeck estate. Hirschbeck Estates. Oof, my tongue. It says chili cheese Fritos I've been eating. They're a little spicy. Pretty good stuff though. So, it's now pretty much at night.
We got our own houses up in this place too.
Yeah. You guys are no longer in the farm over there. You guys now have a couple humble abodes here. And
Caitlin and Jeff have their own house, so they can yell all they want.
We ain't got to deal with none of that bullshit no more.
Yeah, James said he wouldn't be too long. They were still in like the outskirts of the area of Hirschbeck, so James said it wouldn't be too long before he was back, and then he would check on Jenny. Father Kenneth, he took young little Brian. He was gonna pretty much take care of Brian from turning, from turning, and that's pretty much where we left off. There was eventually, as everyone is kind of congregating in the middle of town, because that's where you guys are pretty much staying now anyway. You guys actually see James come back and go over to pretty much where Jenny and her kids are, and RC he's pretty much disappeared. He was definitely in pretty bad shape over all of this, and he kept blaming himself. So James comes over and tells everybody that there's going to be pretty much a small service behind the church in the morning, and that's where they're going to bury Brian. So, and like I said, Kenneth had taken the boy and back to the farm, back to where he's at, and he was going to basically take care of him. So what do you guys think? It's been a pretty rough night.
We headed back to the house, right, guys?
Yeah. Yeah, you guys go back to the house and you can get some rest. Whatever rest you can. I mean.
Well, when we get to the house, I'm gonna be like, give everybody the signal to huddle up. What the fuck was going on with that whole cross and shit out there, man? That was some shit I ain't never seen before. Is these folks all right? You think?
I think so.
Sam, that was a little extreme. I mean, they could have just give it a stuck in the head and been done with it.
Well, people are. Well, if you noticed, everyone is about rituals, right?
I suppose.
When you get married, when you bury someone, when you have a birthday party.
Maybe they want to fend off the other zombies like that by burning them.
Scare them away, bud. When I see that,
I suppose.
I mean,
do zombies even have reactions to things like that? I have no idea.
It could go either way, because it could also bring some more forward if they see a ton of smoke. And I don't know. It feels a little bit of a waste of gas to go that far to me, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, it's a good way to be sure they won't come back.
Yeah.
I suppose. Anyways, I'm tired. I'm carrying my ass to bed.
yeah. Caitlin says she stops over and tells you that she'll get the girls in bed and she's gonna turn in for the night, and she needs to have a talk with Jeff anyway. Things have been pretty stressful between them two as of late also.
Right. He talking about running off to the damn military base or some shit.
Yeah, he had. Well, yeah, he had mentioned that he thinks it might be a pretty good idea to, maybe see what they have to offer and stuff. So
Right.
I don't know.
Totally strange.
Yeah, especially with them attacking, Hirschbeck Estates. Yeah, just
And that is
just
also
walk
when
right up to him.
Caitlin also said that they had encountered them before and they almost did things to
Exactly.
her and the daughters. That does not sound smart.
Well, yeah, a
So
group
what's
like
her
them.
name?
Yeah.
She dropped by then, Caitlin.
Oh yeah, just to tell you guys that she was going to turn in for the night with the girls.
Oh, okay.
And, try to work on some things with Jeff, and she says,
I would
marital
say y'all need to
problems.
see a marriage counselor, but I doubt that there a lot of those still around.
Yeah, she just kind of chuckles and says, "Yeah, when you find one, let me know."
Right.
Will do.
Jack, I think she was being facetious there, buddy.
I'm just playing along.
All right.
Anyone else with any business that they would like to take care of tonight before we move on to the next morning? All right, so everybody
I'm hitting the hay.
give me some spirit checks in the tower the next morning.
Spirit checks.
Yep,
Okay.
spirit checks. All right, Sam. For some reason, you were a little on edge last night. You had you slept on and off, but everybody actually got a really nice full night of sleep.
My
Yeah.
composure was an act.
You were just a little unsettled. Maybe it was. I'm not sure. You're not sure if it was the images of the dead toddler, or maybe something with this.
Maybe a little pissed
Yeah.
off that massage from Dee Dee was
Yeah,
cut
okay.
short.
Yeah,
Yeah,
could do
as,
that.
as I was massaging Sam, I felt like she was like trembling like a little chihuahua or something. Something. Her nerves ain't exactly right. His nerves, I
Hormones.
should say.
Yeah, it's something. You get about a half a night's sleep. I mean, there's no kind of negative modifiers that are going to be piled on top of you, but you're just a little bit tired. You just didn't get to sleep as everyone else had gotten. So it's the next morning. You guys can see as you're kind of looking out the window to see if it's a nice, beautiful, bright day, which it is in Carolina. You can see several people walking by, and they're actually dressed up as well as you could be dressed up in times like this. You see old Harry. He walks by, bottle in hand. He's got on like a blazer jacket that's a couple sizes too small for him. His gut hanging out of the front of the jacket. You guys are close actually to Alice's house, so you see her come out. She's got on a long Sunday dress and a straw hat, and she's picked a couple. You see her pick a couple flowers out of her garden in the front of her yard, and everybody starts to head over to the church where both Father Kenneth and James said that they were going to have this funeral for little Brian. And what do you guys do?
I wake up, of course, and make sure everybody else is so what we gonna do? We're gonna go to this little white boy's funeral, guys?
Would that be distasteful? I don't know, because we really don't know these people.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be rude or not. I mean, we did go to the cross burning event. I mean, I don't know. White people and burning crosses, that kind of bonds them, I've been told.
Father Kenneth, yeah, you guys were definitely invited, and when James had gotten back, he meant that everybody was welcome to join in the morning.
I can't think of anything else to do.
Yeah, let's go check it out. I don't think
Well,
we're gonna do any work.
I
First
want to
things
go
first
Wait
is
out.
to check Jack's foot.
Okay.
Uh,
A couple of
I want
flies
to-
are circling around it.
I want to go, but I'm standing in the back, like not between everyone else.
Sure. Old Mr. Jack, how you doing today, bud?
Doing good.
Why don't you give me a vigor check? Give me a vigor roll. Drop it in the tower for me. It's been about, what, 4 days since the accident now?
Something like that, I think.
He's feeling a half a foot shorter.
Wah, 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 wah. Yeah. You're feeling pretty good today, Jack.
Whoa.
Yeah, your foot is definitely sore. I mean, it's tender. But, you get all of the wrappings changed, and Rose helps you out a little bit with her, medical knowledge, and get you all, squared away. It seems like the infection has kind of died down a little bit, Rose, but it still looks pretty bad though. It's still oozing a lot of fluids out, and it still looks pretty bad, but it doesn't look like it's getting any worse. Looks like it hurts like hell, which actually it does.
All right, I go up to Rose. How's the hoof doing today, Dr. Quinn?
Well, I mean, you figure it's only been a few days, so it's not going to be completely healed by this point by any means, but given what we have, we're on the right track.
How's the hoof?
Right.
How's the
okay.
hoof? That's too good.
Really, Didi? Really?
Right, we gotta put some wheels on that thing, man. Get you more mobile.
He had some wheels, but he sent it on down the street with
Right.
some Zambies.
I figured we could rig up some training wheels on it or something, Right. This some bitch, he built a damn chicken coop of the future over here. Surely he can put some wheels on his hoof there.
If I find the right equipment,
We'll see what he can come up with his MacGyver-like type of skills.
All
I'm
right.
sure there have been kids that have been living in this community for quite some time that may have roller skates or inline skates.
You see, the doctor approves, Jack. Let's get some wheels on that foot.
So as you guys are, attending to Jack, and everybody's kind of congregating there in the main living quarters, Jeff and Caitlin and the girls, they come over, and the girls they have little Sunday dresses also, and
God.
Caitlin brings over some some biscuits, and also brings over a bowl of fruit. Everybody has a little bit of breakfast before you head over there.
Hell yeah.
thanks, Caitlin.
Sam, you have anything you need to do this morning or anything? Seeing that you were so distraught, and unable to sleep last night.
Let's see. No.
All right. See, once you guys have had, breakfast, and you head over to the church, you can see that everybody's gathered over there. All of the familiar faces that you've seen around the Hirschbeck for the last couple days. Father Kenneth, he starts to do a funeral type of sermon, and you can see that there's a hole that's dug into the ground, and you can see where there's a couple other members of the community that have been buried there also.
Didn't you say there was like a big cemetery behind this thing?
Yeah, there's
okay.
not a huge. I mean, it's not Arlington or nothing like that, but
I follow that.
it's got probably about a dozen or so graves,
Okay.
and across this hole there's a couple ropes that are drug across it, strewn across it, and they're spiked down into the ground, and it's holding the small wooden casket on top of the ropes. And Father Kenneth is giving his sermon, and you see that Barbara and Samantha, they're quiet. They're really not saying too much. Now Selena, she's pretty much keeping her eyes on the casket. She looks really scared, and it looks like she wants to, maybe wants to ask a question or something like that. But Jenny and
That's the
Kathy,
youngest
yeah,
daughter, right?
yeah. Jenny, she's crying. Kathy, she's crying. That's the mother and daughter of Brian. And RC, he's just sitting there. He's just like an emotionless mask is like on his face. He's just sitting there, like eyes glazed. Didn't look like he probably didn't sleep a wink last night. It looks like he's just kind of shut down and just kind of slumped over in the chair, just looking, just staring straight ahead. Father goes on for about 15 minutes. Several of the other members of the community come up and put their little handful of flowers on the casket, and the little girl comes over, Kathy. She comes over and kind of talks to the casket real quietly. Nobody really hears anything that she said. And Brian, he just sat in the chair the whole time. Jenny, she comes up and just is a wreck. She's bawling all over the casket. Old Harry, he comes over there, bottle in hand, takes a swig on the way over to the casket, and just says, "Sit down, Jenny. Everything will be all right. Your girl's in a better place."
Okay.
Yeah. So, the Father Kenneth, he finishes up the service, and he kind of turns to everyone and asks everyone, and he looks rather tired as well. His eyes are all bloodshot and yellow and bloodshot. I mean, he just looks rough. His collar's half cocked up on the side where he didn't get it tucked down all the way. Ties a little crooked. Oh yeah, he's looking pretty rough this morning. But he asks everyone to pretty much come over to Jenny's house and join him, and we're gonna have a picnic and some food and remembrance of little Brian.
Right.
But he definitely looks tired, and he starts to go around and thanks everybody for coming. Everybody's shaking hands and hugging and crying and all this other stuff. And so what are you guys doing as the father walks over towards you? How you guys doing this morning?
I shake his hand. I'm like, "Father, you look like you're a little worse for wear, man. All these preparations, look like they got a hold of you."
Yeah, it was a pretty bad night last night. I'll be honest with you. I thought the boy was taken care of, but a little booger come back up again, so I had to put him down again. It's
Lord.
Yeah, he came back as a living dead, and had to put him down. It was just but that was all right. As long as his mama didn't have to deal with that, that was all that I was worried about.
That's for sure. Have you had any kind of rest, Father?
Not a wink, Dee Dee. Not a wink.
Not a wink.
No, he
you
pulls
ain't gonna
out
be working the grill at this little get together, are you?
This is already cooked, baby. But he pulls out a little.
Right.
He pulls out a little flask, and he says, "My uncle's been keeping me a little nippy this morning."
All right.
Little
I'm sure,
one of them little.
I'm sure the Lord won't mind.
The Lord doesn't matter in these times. Oh, He's very forgiving now.
I'm sure.
He says, "You guys are gonna come over and get some food," and
I don't see why not, Father. I mean, it's best that everybody come together in times like these, I guess. We being new faces, we need to show our faces at least.
well, I'll see you over there then. And he just kind of breaks off conversation, and I mean he's tired as hell. He just kind of walks away, and you can see him kind of take a little nip again off of his little silver flask. Actually, this is the first time you've seen him take a little nip off of that flask. But you can as kind of people are starting to disperse a little bit, and you can a couple of Michael and the guards that you've seen on the walls, they're actually pulling the stakes out of the ground and lowering that the box down into the ground with the ropes, and a couple of the guards are starting to take their shovels and put the dirt back into the hole to fill it up. And Father goes back over to Jenny, and James is there as well. Pretty much, all of the mainstays there at Hirschbeck. They're all there, consoling Jenny and stuff.
Right. I'm gonna try and find somebody that went out on the expedition with James yesterday, Dave. I just want to see if any information was gleaned from that whole deal.
No, actually, a couple of the guys, they actually tell you that they came back, especially with what happened last night.
Right.
They didn't run into too many. It was basically just a couple stragglers.
Well, so we ain't got nothing to worry about.
No, everything's
okay.
good. He says, everything looks good. We got back just before sun up, and got maybe an hour or two of sleep, and day's starting over again.
That pack we ran into with Michael must have just been a little bunch that got together somehow or another.
Yeah, he says, it was probably from the bandits down there from the military base. Probably, with their loud SUVs and stuff. That's
Right.
probably why the sound from them probably got their attention. So everybody starts to yes, Sam.
Are we at the house?
Yeah, everybody's gathering over there
Yeah.
at Jenny's house. Yeah, and you see RC's pretty much disappeared into the house, and you can hear. You can hear kind of as people are mingling, how's RC doing, and Jenny, as much as she can keep herself composed, just tells everyone that he's taking it really hard, and he's gone into the house, and she says that he just needs to be left alone for now, and give him some time, and and like I said, James is there, the father's there. Everybody's
I'm
there.
looking for RC.
He's in the house. He's Jenny, said that he's probably up in his room. You go up you knock on it. Where RC's house. Where his room would be. Yeah, she would tell you that's upstairs.
Yeah, sneak away from the crowd when no one's knocking. I go up there.
Sure. You go up there and his door's locked. I mean, you don't hear anything. You just hear him making some kind of like noise behind the door, probably kind of rocking in a chair and kind of setting it back down onto the ground and kind of leaning back, and then like a real light thump on the floor.
Yeah. I'd say, sorry to hear about their dad, RC.
Yeah, he opens up the door and he says, "Yeah, what do you want?" Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to come and, I guess, see if you're okay. Sorry about their dad.
Yeah. Well, I'm not worried about my dad. He had it coming, but my little brother, he didn't deserve that. It's all it's all my fault.
Why do you think your dad was hiding out in the basement like that? That's weird, huh?
He got in somehow. I don't know. The door was just left open, I guess, and when my mom left to go play cards with the old Bettys down the road, I guess when she left, I guess he just kind of stumbled in and found little Brian there.
How often does your mom go play?
She usually plays with those yentas a couple times a week. I mean, they're nice and all, I guess, but I went one time and one time only, and that was it. I don't like that the games that they were playing.
When's the last time you've been to your basement?
Yesterday.
And he wasn't in there?
No. What are you saying?
I'm just wondering how your dad got into the basement and past all the guards.
He
Over the walls.
I don't know. I don't know, kid. He just